Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining. It's March 1st, 2024. Really excited. We're getting ready to start another fishing tournament. We are at a brand new lake that we've never been on before. This is Indian Creek Lake, which is northwest of Chillicothe on the Posey Conservation Area. I've never been on this lake before, and hopefully we will catch some nice fish. It's about 40 degrees. We had a cold front come in a couple days ago, dropped the temperature back down, and we have a slight breeze today. So I'm still hoping we'll catch some fish, and hopefully we'll catch them on video. The big part about this video is we are upgrading. Well, we're not really upgrading. We're adding more video cameras to the kayak. We picked up a couple action cams, and we're going to talk about them real quick and talk about some of the cameras that we already have on the kayak, and then we're going to get into some fishing. So the camera that we're going with, adding to some of the GoPros, is the Tactacam Fish I. It looks like a pretty good camera. I did some research on it. There is a great YouTube video by Chad Hoover, who's a kayak fisherman, that talks about this camera quite a bit, and that is the main reason I started looking it up. The second reason I ended up going with it is right now they are $35 on Amazon, which is crazy for an action camera. Right after I bought two of them, I stopped by the Tactacam dealer, and he said that they were discontinuing this model and you wouldn't be able to get it anymore. So I went back online a day or two later and bought two more for backup cameras, and I'll probably end up buying one or two more just because I'm going to replace maybe one or two of the GoPros that I use on my kayak. In the box, you're going to get the camera, a rechargeable battery, a head mount, a universal mount, which is what this is, and a charger. The biggest plus to this camera is it is a very simple camera. It shoots 1080 video at 60 frames per second, and that's pretty much it. There's three modes for the video. Excuse me. And you have loop, normal video, and I think the other one's time lapse, and that's pretty much it. That's all you have for this camera. Now, looking at the box, which I did not know, but this lens is interchangeable, which I will see if I can probably upgrade the lenses on it. There's a 90-inch mini zoom lens, which is with it right now. It also comes with a 120 wide lens, and then there's a 170 ultra wide lens, which gives you a better view. And I don't know if you guys can see that on the box. But I will definitely be looking into that because I've used this camera once already on another lake, and the view is very narrow compared to what the GoPros do. The GoPro that I'm filming with right now is my GoPro 11. I don't use it a lot on the kayak, especially in the summer. The sun beats down on it, and it has been prone to shutting itself off. So that's one of the reasons why I'm looking at new action cams. The big plus about the GoPros is in the camera settings themselves, there's linear, standard, wide, and super wide already adjustable in the camera, which is a big plus. But according to the Tactacam, you can actually change out these lenses and give you a better range of view if you can still get the lenses, which I'll be checking into. The biggest plus in the Chad Hoover video was on these cameras is the remote, which is this one right here. And we will probably do a video on how to link them and stuff later. But this one remote can run up to 5 of these cameras at one time. Now, Chad said in his video, and I'll put a link to his video down in the description, but he has ran up to 9 of these cameras on his remote, is what he said in his video. The biggest plus is if you have your cameras back behind you on the kayak, you can turn your cameras off and on and actually start recording with this remote, and all the cameras on your kayak, as long as they're Tactacams, will come on and start recording. That is the big plus about the Tactacam. Now my GoPros that I have is, the first one I bought was the GoPro 6. I really like this camera. This is the one I usually wear on my chest. It has loop mode. The thing I don't like about it is you have to take it out of this protective case to actually change the battery on it. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a problem. The next camera that I bought was the GoPro 8. It's been a really good camera. It has a lot of good upgrades. There's no hard case to restrain you from changing the battery real quick, which is right here in this door. There's some other upgrades in the GoPro 8. I think it shoots like 4K video where the GoPro 6 did not. And I believe the GoPro 11, there's even more big mods on it. You guys can look up the specs. The biggest thing about the GoPros is my 6 has it's a basic image stabilization. The 8 has a better one, and then the GoPro 11 has even a better image stabilization, which the Tactacams do not. The biggest downside to the GoPros is you can get remotes for them, but the remotes only run one camera. So if you have 3 GoPros on your kayak, you need 3 remotes to run them. Another downside about it, and it's in Chad Hoover's video, is you have to go into the settings in this GoPro, and it's not a standby mode, but it's like searching for a signal. Now you can turn the signal off or you can turn it on, and it's constantly looking for the remote signal. While it's constantly looking for a remote signal, similar to the way maybe a cell phone's always scanning for a tower, it's draining the battery of the GoPro, even though the GoPro is not recording anything. And for some reason, the GoPro 11 today is shutting off constantly, probably because of the voice activating software that's in it. But the remote on the GoPros, you have to have 1 remote per GoPro. If you want to be able to put a GoPro on the back of the camera like the 11 is here, you have to put it in a signal type mode, so it's constantly looking for the remote. So when you turn it on, turn it off, or start recording, the GoPro knows what to do. If you do not have that setting turned on and you go to push your remote, the camera will not come on if the camera's off. So if I'm paddling 5 minutes across the lake and the GoPro's shut down because they're in a standby mode and they shut themselves off, the only way to turn them back on is actually to manually push their on buttons, which are on the side on all 3 of them, unless you have them in that signal mode or standby mode, whatever they call it, and then you can push the button on the remote and then they will come on. But in that mode, you are losing battery power the whole time that you're paddling, which the other day I tried it. The GoPro 8 stayed on for about 2 hours with the battery. It was a fairly new battery, but I think the Fish I that I was using at the time, it stayed on a little bit longer. So there's some big pluses about the GoPro, but there's some minuses about the GoPro, and that's why I went with the Tactacam. I'm really excited about using these, and also trying to change out these lenses and get some better view angles. They're a very basic, simple camera, but like I said, you're only going to get 1080, 60 frames, and you only got 3 video settings. But like I said, the biggest plus is the remote, which can run multiple cameras. Excuse me. The remote, which can run multiple cameras, and the battery for the remote is also the battery that you can use in the cameras. If you want to buy more batteries, the batteries are about $30 on Amazon right now. The best buy is, it kind of looks like this, is a dual battery charger, and you get 2 batteries, and it goes for, I think, 40 bucks, 40 or 50. So you're saving quite a bit by buying the dual charger with 2 batteries. So that's basically it. We're going to get the kayak unloaded. We're going to put a GoPro on one side. We're going to put a Tactacam on the other. Hopefully we'll get some pretty good angles. and we'll do some paddle and some fishing. We're also going to put a GoPro on the front at my feet, shooting back up at me. And then at some point while we're fishing, we'll switch it out for the Tactacam and get some video of it. And I'm hoping, if I can figure it out in my software setting when I'm editing the video, I'm hoping I can get a split screen side by side, so you can look at the Tactacam on one side, GoPro on the other, and you guys can get an idea of what kind of imaging both cameras are capable of doing. When I do the feet camera, it won't be the same video, but you'll still be able to see the difference between one image versus the other. So stay tuned. I'm going to get everything unloaded, get everything set up on the kayak, and get in the water. So stick around. Just a breakdown of where the cameras are going to be. That is the GoPro 11. That's shooting up at my chest. The GoPro 6 is here on my chest. We got the GoPro 8, which will be on my right side. And the Tactacam is going to be over on my left side. And I've put it further back because it has a narrower view. At some point we will change out the GoPro 11 up here and put the second Tactacam up there and get some video with it too. So we're ready to shove off and see if we can catch a fish. Well, that was an exciting day on the water. Right after I got on the water, the wind picked up, and basically all I did all morning was paddle around and fight the wind. Even in the coves, I could not get out of the wind. Did try to fish a little bit. As the video shows, all I did was snag some trees and get tangled up in some stumps and stuff, and that was pretty much it. So we will definitely be going back to that lake and trying to catch some fish on it. But when we got back, downloaded the video from the Tactacam and the GoPros, and the Tactacam really impressed me. I was very pleased with it. I thought the imaging was really good. I didn't notice that the video didn't bounce any or was any choppy or anything like sometimes you see when cameras are moving around a little bit. The imaging kind of gets really unstable. Don't believe these cameras have image stabilization in them as opposed to the GoPros, so I was very pleased with that. The only thing I did notice that the camera appears to overexpose the video maybe a little bit, and that's only because I noticed it on the GoPro that the sweatshirt I was wearing made this, the GoPros made my sweatshirt look really bright, kind of new, and the Tactacams kind of made them look kind of faded and old. The only thing I can think is Tactacam probably borrowed the technology in this camera from their hunting line, which would be their 4.0, their 5.0. In a hunting camera, you would be filming early morning usually, and you would be wanting to let in as much light as possible to actually capture the hunt in any low light conditions. So more than likely that's probably why, is the technology and the software in the camera is probably geared more for hunting. Overall though, you can't beat the camera, especially for 35 bucks, what I gave for them, and even for the spare cameras I bought for 50 bucks, you still can't beat it. Right now, April of 2024, new GoPro 10 at Best Buy or Walmart, that would be their oldest model, I think they still have available new, is about 250 bucks. And for $250 at 50 bucks each, you can get two cameras, a remote, and a dual battery charger, and that would give you 1, 2, 3, 4, that would give you about 5 batteries, 4 chargers, and all kinds of mounts and stuff that you could use throughout your kayak. So you would have 2, maybe even 3 cameras, as opposed to the GoPro only having 1. So definitely worth buying, especially at 50 bucks a piece if you can find them. I've seen them in some stores for $100 on clearance, so they're still out there. You can still find them, so look around. I definitely recommend them. I think they're good cameras. So that's going to do it for this video. I don't want it to get too long, but in the next video we're going to talk about the lenses for them. I did find these on eBay. These are pretty hard to find, and hopefully we will get some mounted up onto the camera and show you some different angles. Well, not angles, like wide angle versus ultra wide, and then a mini zoom. So we'll be talking about these in the next video, and we'll also show you how to set up your remote and your cameras. So that's going to do it for this video. We're going to go fishing. So it's a beautiful day here in Missouri. We're going to get out on the water, catch a couple fish. So do the same, and God bless.